So there's three main things that I think are really impacting the market right now. The first being that we're back to seasonality. So what that means is there's certain times of the year that are going to be busier than others. For example, the spring is usually a busier market. We're right now heading into the winter market, which is usually the slowest time of the year. The second thing is buyer confidence. So there's wars going on in the world. There's talk of recession. All of these things impact the way that buyers feel and impact their ability to make decisions about whether or not to jump into the real estate market. And the third is affordability. So obviously when we're in higher interest rates than we've been used to over the last several years, that's impacting the affordability for those buyers to be able to actually afford the homes that they're paying for. If you look at a home that was $1.3 million, say in COVID, and now is $1 million, it's still actually costing somebody more on a monthly basis to carry that property. So we have seen a significant shift into a buyer's market recently, where we're seeing that little bit of an oversupply in homes on the market. That being said, there still is a lot of pent-up demand. The challenge with this market is that the buyers aren't acting. So that confidence that I mentioned earlier in buyers, because of all of the things like the high interest rates, the affordability, all of the things going on in the world like wars and talk of recession, are causing buyers to not act and not quite have that confidence in the market. So yes, it's a positive that we haven't seen the Bank of Canada raise rates over the last two times. And we kind of expect them to maybe hold steady for the next little bit. But my belief is that until we see rates actually start to come down, likely buyers are going to continue to sit on the sidelines there. Because it is still just their affordability that's being impacted by the higher interest rates that we're still in. So until we see a massive change in that, I think, or we see prices drop significantly, I think we're going to still see buyers sit on the sidelines for a little bit. So obviously rates are the biggest talk of discussion with them, whether they're going to stay steady, go down, go up. I think over the next little bit, I think we do expect that they're going to stay fairly steady and there's going to be a hold on rates for a little bit. I think the times of rates climbing are likely gone, but we don't expect that rates are going to come down until at least the latter half of 2024. But that should have some impact when that starts to happen. The other major factor is that I worry a little bit about is all of the renewals that are coming up for Canadian mortgages in 2024. So there's 3.5 million mortgages across the country that are set to renew in 2024. Obviously, a lot of those mortgages were taken on 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago at sub 3% interest rates. Now we're in 6% interest rates, and that could cause issues for those people who are having to renew. It could create an influx of listings coming to the market for people who cannot afford their homes anymore. So again, like I said, interest rates are the biggest factor, in my opinion, that influences our real estate market here in the GTA. Obviously, like I mentioned, we're expecting rates to likely hold for the next little bit. The Government of Canada has mentioned that they do intend to potentially bring rates down sooner than they expected, even if it's before inflation reaches 2%. That being said, we don't expect that until the latter half of 2024 at the earliest. So we're going to be in this higher interest rate environment for the next several months. I think that will obviously have an impact on the GTA real estate market and buyer confidence and affordability that I mentioned before, which could continue to see that downward pressure that we've seen. So obviously the talk of recession is never a great thing for the real estate market. A lot of people in Canada, and especially in this GTA market, own properties as investment properties. Whenever we're seeing the economy struggle, that does impact our real estate market and can impact affordability again for people. So those are all factors that we're watching going into 2024. So what it really comes down to is setting the right expectations. So a lot of the times, I think the challenge that we're facing in today's market is that sellers still have an expectation of X for their price, usually significantly higher than what buyers are thinking in this current market. And unfortunately, for those sellers who have to sell, the buyers just aren't willing to pay the price that they're willing to pay. So for agents, they need to be setting the right expectations with their clients. Those sellers have to obviously understand that they're likely going to have to sell their houses for significantly less than they had anticipated or planned on selling their homes for. And buyers can expect to, get some better deals and potentially start to gain a little bit of confidence in jumping into the market, knowing that within the next couple of years, we'll likely see rates start to come down, and we're likely seeing prices come down a little bit over the next few months as well. So one of the things that people really need to understand is that there's two things that really impact whether or not a home sells or not. And those two things are price and condition. And to condition, I'll also add marketing and exposure of the home. So in today's market, what we're seeing is that if you're not one of the best priced homes, as well as showing the best and exposed at the highest level and marketed at the highest level by your realtor, then your home is likely gonna sit on the market and not sell, and you're gonna likely chase the market down with your price. So what we're advising our clients to do is to actually price ahead of the market. Again, we're downtrending, so you need to be extremely attractive in your price. When that's the case, we're still seeing homes sell in today's market. But again, it's all about those expectations of sellers understanding that they're going to have to get ahead of the market on price and be the best priced home on the market in order to sell. My name is Jeff Ham, co-founder of the Fresh Approach Real Estate team. If you have any questions about the market that we're in currently or where we're headed in 2024, please don't hesitate to reach out.